Hey everybody, welcome once again. In today's video, we're going to talk about commands. Okay, so we have created a command cheat sheet for you, which you can actually use, and you can learn commands pretty quickly. You can practice them on your system. So I think there are plenty of commands right here. So we're just going to try a few of them, and the rest you can try yourself. So what we're going to do that right under the description, we're going to put a link to this file. Okay, so you can download this file and you can try all those commands by yourself. So in this video, we're going to try a few of those commands. All right, so basically this is a cheat sheet, and I think almost according to my knowledge, I have included almost every possible command that I could think of. So you can use these commands. Okay, you can test them, you can run them on your system. So let's go ahead and let's try to run a few of the commands. Okay, so first of all, we're going to press Ctrl-Alt-T. We are going to open up our terminal, and let's try to run this command. The first command that we have got, it is ls command. So basically right now I'm in my home directory. So if I ls here, you can see that I could see all of these folders and files. So there are other options for ls as well. So for example, if you do like ls-a, it is going to give you all sorts of details and all sorts of hidden files as well. Okay, so if you do ls-l, it is going to give you all the execution and all the permissions, the read and write and execution permissions that you have. It is going to tell you that if you have those permissions for the file or for the folder or directory, do you have those permissions or not. So there are several other options that you can try yourself. Even you can combine ls and al. Okay, so in that case it would show the dot files, the hidden files as well. So I hope you got the point. There is another command that we usually use. It's clear. Okay, so basically it is going to clear the terminal. It actually doesn't fully clear the screen, or it doesn't remove what you have written, but what it does, that it actually moves them up. So if we go here and if we just try to scroll it over, we have those commands right here. Okay, so now what we're going to do, the next command is cd. So what cd does, basically it stands for change directory. Okay, so ls stands for list. So basically, right, let's say that if right now I am in my home directory, so let's say if I want to do, like, if I do ls here, so I can see that here are directories like Anaconda 3, desktop, documents, download. So for example, if I want to go to the desktop directory, so what I would do, I would write here cd and then I would write here desktop. Okay, so basically if I do that, if I hit enter, you could see that I have reached the desktop directory. So now if I ls here, you can see that on my desktop there is only one folder, which is, I think, let me go back here. Oops, let me just cross this. So you can see that I have just one file per script. Okay, so this is the file that I have. And now what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to go to my cheat sheet that I have right here, and let's try another command. So NKDIR. So basically what it does, that it creates that directory. So if I create NKDIR, let's say new directory, so it is going to be created on my desktop. So if I say new dir, if I hit enter, and if I ls right now, you can see that new dir has been created. So if I want to delete the rmdir, okay, so it basically going to remove the empty directory. So even if it is not empty, let me just try to rmdir new dir. So if I hit enter, if I ls again, you can see that the directory has been removed. If you have files in the directory, then the procedure is going to be a little different. So you just have to include -r so that you could actually delete those files. Okay, files or directories. So you have to write rm -r, and then you're going to write the directory name, which is eventually going to delete the directory. Okay, so chmod is basically for changing permissions. So let's ls negative l here. So you can see that we have this one folder. So it has all the permissions in the world. It has read, write, execute permissions for all the user. So what we can do is that we can actually change those permissions. Okay, sudo chmod, then I guess yes 000, and then obviously the file name, which is essentially first script. So you can see that I actually forgot the format. So it is really possible that you would forget the format as well. So no worries. So you can see that if I do ls negative l right now, you can see that we do not have any permissions. So if I want to add, so I just have to write here, let's say 777. It is basically stands for you're going to give all the permissions. It is really sort of complicated. It is not that complicated right now. It might be appearing complicated to you because you're not familiar with that. So I think we have a lecture, a tutorial recording on CHMOD as well. So what I'm going to do that I'm going to put the link in the description for that tutorial, or or you can use this I button on the top and you can watch that video as well of CHMOD. All right. So let's say if I want to give it the right permission, I just have to do this first and then enter. And now if I do that, you can see that we have the right permission for public, okay, for the owner, excuse me. So in that way you can, it has three portions, like public, sorry, the owner, the group, and then the public. Okay, so you can do that. All right. So moving on to the next command, let's I think we have done enough from this. So let's move to the next section. So processes. So basically, if you want to view that which processes you're running or which processes are there, so you can just simply do ps. You can see we have two processes running. So if you want huge details, so you can just ps negative a, and you would have all these details. So right now you could see that we have all the details of whichever programs are running. So I think Firefox, so my browser is running right here. So if we go up, you can see that my browser is actually running. So what if I want to close the browser? So what I have got to do is that I just have to note down the ID of my browser, which is essentially, I think I lost it. Let me just find out. Yes, there it is. So the ID, the process ID is 2126. So I note it down and I write here kill. We are going to use this kill command, okay, and then we are going to write the process ID, which is I think 2126, if I'm not wrong. Yes, 2126. So I'm going to write here 2126, but I think it is going to not give me the permission. Okay, it is giving me the permission. If you want to change, if you're going to make changes, or if you're going to kill some process for which you have to be a root user, then it is going to give you a permission error. So it would say permission denied. So in that case, you just have to write sudo before this command. Okay, so now you can see that my browser, it has been killed. Okay, so the process has been killed. All right, so I hope you got the point. So let's jump to the next section. There is nothing special. So networking, so network section. So there's a very famous command like ifconfig. Basically if you do that, it will show you all the interfaces available currently. Okay, so right now we could see that this is our running interface. So what we can do is that we can actually go to our terminal, and we can actually display that separately as well. So I just have to write hello, and you can actually see the information of this interface separately as well. So if you want to do the same thing, I think there is a command IPADDR. If you hit enter, you get almost same kind of information, but now you're getting the MAC address and the IP address as well. Okay, so I think we have this IP command here as well. Okay, let's try the ping command. So what you're going to do is basically ping command cannot be used alone, so you have to have a remote server. So let's try this 8.8.8. It's the Google server. So if I hit enter, you can see that it has basically started to send and receive requests, so packets you could say. So right now it is sending and receiving the packets. So if I do Control C, you can see that it has transmitted 12 packets and we have received 11, and there was an 8% of the packets lost. Okay, so the average round trip time was like, I think it was 184.323. Okay, so really fast. So the next command that we could try is let's try traceroute. Okay, so let's try this one. So we write here traceroute and we run it on the same IP, so 8.8.8. So we hit enter and you can see that it is basically it has started to give all the hops. Okay, so basically when the static sort of thing appears, it means that there is a missing. Okay, so let's just end this, Control C, and you can see there were 11 hops, and it is basically it is going to go on and on. Okay, so let's try it next command. Let's go into the miscellaneous section, and basically if you want to install the package, you can run this command. You can write here sudo. Basically if you are installing, and then you have to write sudo before that, sudo apt-get install, and then let's say the package name, let's say yum. Okay, so it is going to ask for the password, and you can see basically it has started to download and install the yum package, okay, on my system. So once basically if you want to remove the package, or if you want to uninstall the package, then what you've got to do is basically you just write sudo apt-get remove and then the package name. So let's go ahead and do it. Sudo apt-get remove, and then we're going to write here the package name, which is essentially I think it is yum. Yes, so we hit enter and you can see it is basically asking you for the permission. So we press Y and it has started to remove the package, and yes, it has removed it now. So there are several other commands. Echo is basically going to display the text on the screen, and if you want to update the repository, you can do that as well. Sudo apt-get update. Okay, so what it will do, that it will basically update the repository. Okay, so if there are new packages, it is going to load those new packages as well. So password, basically what it does, that you can change the password of the username. Okay, so how you can do it, you can let me just wait for it, because I think it is basically updating the repository. So I think for a long time I have not updated my repository, so that's why there were new updates. So basically it is catching with those updates, and it is downloading them into the repository. Okay, so once the repository is updated, you can move ahead. The next command, let's change the password. So right now obviously I am logged in, so I'm just going to write my username. So if I hit enter, you can see that basically it says that enter your current password. So I'm going to enter my current password. So it is saying enter your new password. So I'm going to enter the same password, because I don't want to change it, because then if I change it, I'll forget it. So you can change your password on your own. Okay, so I will just not do anything. Okay, so let's just come out of it. Okay, so now go ahead, sudo, basically that execute the command as a super user. Okay, so basically if you do this, you would know that which user is basically right now I think who, basically this command, it reports the user which is like logged on to the system. So the current user, for the current user, I think this is the command who am I, and it will basically show you the current user that is on the system. So now moving on to the next section, file systems. Basically I don't want to try any of the command, because I don't want to mess up with my partition tables and my partition file system. So I would just leave that on to you. If you want to mount, or if you want to unmount, and if you want to try these commands, then you can go ahead and you can try it on your system. Try these commands very carefully. Okay, So let's move on to the next section, which is system information. So let's do this. If we do date, we could see the present date, the current date right now. And if we try the next command du, basically it is going to show us the amount space used in files and directories. Okay, so you can also do like this free. It is going to show you the whole memory and the free space as well. Okay, so I hope you've got the point here. So these were the commands that we have tried few of them. So remember that I'm going to put in a link in the description. So click on that link and download this cheat sheet and try to run all those commands that are available here. We have described each command separately, so you can have the description of each command in front of it, from where you can actually learn and you can try that on your system. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed today's video. You have learned something new. So what you've got to do is that you have got to subscribe to our channel for further videos like this. Give this video a thumbs up if it has helped you. But I would say go on, download the cheat sheet and try those commands yourself. It is a must, because that's the only way you're going to increase the chances of you not forgetting this stuff. You're going to learn way quicker. Okay, so for written articles, you can visit our website linuxint.com. For now, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.